Hello everyone, welcome to this video. This video is about complete 1 year strategy for civil service aspirants. This is presented by me, Akshat Jain. I have secured All India rank this year's civil services examination. So you might have heard of this or you might have not, but this is a very essential quote. A vision without a strategy remains an illusion. This is very important. So often I see aspirants are confused regarding this word strategy. What is this? How can they actually make a good strategy? Why do they need to make a strategy? So in this video, I am going to share how I made my strategy when I was at the stage of starting my preparation. So a few points to remember first of all. So first point, do not start your preparation without having a clear strategy. Please remember, if you start your preparation blindly without any clear vision in your mind, then you are going to put in hard works, but those will not deliver results. So that is why take your time, take 3 days, take a week, take 10 days, but always start with a plan as to how you will kind of prepare for this exam. So that is very important. Second of all, the strategy that you formulate, that must be feasible. That is very, very important. Again, it should not be unrealistic. For example, an unrealistic strategy would be completing the entire main syllabus before prelims, 100%. That is very difficult. A more realistic version would be completing, say, 70% of the syllabus. So please have this feasible strategy. Third of all, once you formulate your strategy, please do not deviate from it unless you are not getting results. Because what happens today is so many strategies are available online and offline as well, that if you prepare a strategy, you see a new video on YouTube and then you again change it. So please do not do that. The only reason you should change your strategy is when through test you are able to see that it is not giving results. So that is the only reason. Apart from that, just take your time, listen to 3-4 strategies of people whom you find credible, and then decide your own strategy, add your own inputs, make your strategy unique, and then please stick to it. Please do not deviate from it. So that is very, very important. Finally, always self-reflect and introspect. As I said, you need to self-reflect whether your strategy is working or not, and that can be done through only mock test. If you have something to evaluate your strategy upon, only in that cases you tweak your strategy. So these are the points to remember in my case. And now I'll be sharing my strategy. So my purpose here is not to tell you to follow my own approach and just say that my approach is the best, please follow it. That is not my purpose here. My purpose is basically to give you an idea of how you must think whenever you are preparing that strategy. Please follow your own strategy. I'm just here giving an idea as to how I did that, the thinking which went behind it, so that it can help you. Okay, so every strategy, it is based on certain targets. Each strategy, it is built on certain targets. So my strategy was built on these 4 targets. So first, my target was to be mains ready before prelims. That is, finish maximum syllabus of mains before prelims. This word maximum syllabus is very important. It does not mean 100% syllabus. It means at least 70-75% of the syllabus, so that I can be mains ready before prelims. So that was the first main target that I had set myself when I started my preparation. Second of all, this was very clear in my mind that I'll make short notes on each and every topic of general studies. Each and every topic which is mentioned in the syllabus, I will make short notes on it. So that was again right from the very start of my preparation, that was in my mind. Third of all, complete the optional at least once before prelims. So that is, go through the syllabus and make notes on it. So at least once I should be thorough with my optional before pre. So that was again in my mind right from the very start. And finally, ensure sufficient answer writing practice. Sufficient answer writing practice before prelims. Again, I was very clear that I have to practice writing answers, writing tests, no matter what, and get sufficient practice before prelims itself. So these 4 points I was very clear from the start, and that is why the strategy that I started to build, that was based on these 4 parameters, that I have to achieve these 4 targets, and for that now I must plan my approach. Now I must plan my strategy. So choose your targets wisely based on your own thinking, and then formulate a strategy to achieve those targets. And please remember, keep the targets feasible. Okay. So now I would suggest is, in order to achieve those targets, you must create a roadmap. So I created this roadmap of mine. So this is my own personal roadmap. I'm not telling you to follow this verbatim. I'm just giving you an idea as to how I planned. And this is a key reason why I was able to get this rank. So for example, phase 1. So I divided my entire preparation into 4 phases. So please appreciate this fact that all these things I planned right from the start of my preparation. So that is why I am suggesting you to do the same. So I was very clear that this phase 1 would go from July to October. I am going to cover each and every individual phase now. So just giving you a brief idea here. Then the phase 2, that will be covered from November to February. Then phase 3 from March to prelims. And finally, the final phase, that is after prelims to the date of the mains examination. So I created this roadmap, and now I am going to tell you each and every small aspect as to what each and every phase was about. So coming to phase 1, that is the phase starting from July to October. So this is basically July 2017 to October 2017 in my case. Okay. So this is generally the time when you start your preparations, right? So I had given 1 prelims before that, but I had given that in 2-3 months only. So kind of you can say this was my proper fresh start in July after the results of pre, which I was not able to clear in my first attempt. So most of the candidates, they start in this month only. Okay. So I'm not saying that you must follow each and every month of mine. I'm giving you an idea, the thinking. Okay. So here in this phase 1, my main priority was optional subject. This was my main priority. So I was very clear that I have to first complete my optional, and I have to do so till October. So my optional was anthropology, which I feel it is manageable in this time span. You have to decide according to your own optional. But I would highly recommend you that you please start with optional and give major focus to your optional in the starting. This is a game changer. Please remember, optional पर ध्यान दीजिए. Okay. So this was my main priority. So I was clear that I have to complete the syllabus once, and I have to make notes on it in whichever format they may be. So that depends on your optional. So for in my case anthropology के लिए what I did was I prepared model answers. So but complete the syllabus at least once. At least I can say that yes, I have completed my optional once in this particular time span. So I'd suggest you to do the same. Okay. Second of all, daily answer writing. Daily answer writing based on the editorials which I was reading in the newspapers. So I had to start writing answers. As I said, one of my target was to get sufficient answer writing practice. So but at this stage, I did not have enough knowledge to write answers on, say, static topics or to give full 3-hour test. That is why I started with daily answer writing on the editorials. So I used to write answers on the Insight Secure platform. You can choose any platform, be it Insights, be it IAS Baba or any other. But please do start daily answer writing. Do not wait for writing answers. Suppose say you say that I want to complete my syllabus first and then I'll write answers. Please don't do that. Start immediately. There's no early date to start. You can start whenever you want and just do those on those questions that come from the editorials. So on these platforms like Insight, they give questions based on the editorials that you read. You do not need any extra knowledge. Just what you're reading in the morning newspaper. And just start. In the start, you will write very bad answers. Perfectly fine, but please do start writing answers. And for those of you who are taking coaching classes, I would recommend you that you just revise what is being taught in your coaching classes. Rest of the time you devote to your optional. So I did not take any coaching for general studies as such, so that is why I had a lot of time for my optional. But this is why I understand that many take coaching, so for them this particular point can be useful. And for those who are self-studying and they are worried about GS, because right now I've been saying that focus mostly on optional and rest do daily answer writing on current affairs. But if you are worried about GS, then I'll recommend start with reading NCERTs. Okay, you can start reading NCERTs so that you just give that particular time to GS and rest of the time please give to optional for you as well. So I think this can work out for everybody. So moving on, phase 2, that is from November to February. Okay, so now my main priority, it changed. Now it was general studies and GS from a mains perspective. I have been always telling preparation is always from a mains perspective. So my main priority now was general studies. I had finished my optional at least once before this, so that is why my focus shifted on GS. So I would obviously recommend you to continue reading the newspaper, that is a given. But I stopped daily answer writing now. I stopped it. So you can also do the same. Why I stopped it? Because I started giving full 3-hour mains test, proper test based on the latest format of general studies mains. So on these GS topics. So whenever I used to complete a GS topic, I used to give a full 3-hour test on it. Suppose say I have completed freedom struggle today, then I'll give a proper 3-hour test on it. And you know, these days so many test platforms are available. For example, even if you have not joined any offline class, you can give test on online mediums. You can compile questions from online sources. You can give on mediums like Unacademy, on Vision and all. So there's no excuse now for you not to give full 3-hour test. So please do that. On the GS topics that you finish, start giving full 3-hour test. Finally, also in this period, you can revise the optional slowly. Say daily you can give 2 hours for optional revision so that it remains with you. And also I would recommend you to give a few 3-hour tests on the optional as well. Main focus still remains GS, but you can slowly revise optional subject, and very slowly at your own pace you can give a 3-hour test. Even if you can give 3 to 4 optional tests before prelims, that is very, very good. Very, very good. So that is up to you. I was able to do that with this particular approach. My entire day mostly was spent on GS, but in between 2 hours, just revising my optional, and when I was ready with the topic, just giving a 3-hour test on it. So here you can see that I am giving test on both GS as well as on optional in this particular period. This particular period is very important because now I am understanding how to give test, the ultimate thing which is going to fetch me marks. Okay, and also please do not forget essays. So I started writing essays as well. So I used to write an essay once a week or maybe once in 2 weeks. So I understand that sometimes it gets difficult to write an essay continuously, but please try to write at least once in 2 weeks. And please write 5 to 6 essays, at least 5 to 6 essays before prelims. So then you can proudly say that you are mains ready before pre, if you follow this particular strategy. I am not saying stick to my timetable, no, I am not saying that, but have this in mind that before pre you are able to give proper test, you have finished maximum syllabus of both your GS and optional. So have these things in mind. Next, the phase 3, which is from March to prelims. So here the only priority, I have not used the word main priority, I have used the word only priority. So only priority is prelims. I feel that if you are thorough with your mains, then already your knowledge is sufficient to clear prelims. All you have to do is give those 2 to 3 months. So I started from March. You can choose on your own. Maybe you can start from February. Maybe you can start from mid-March if you are very confident in pre. So that is up to you. So I think these 3 months are more than sufficient for prelims if you have already prepared for mains, because your knowledge base is now built. So here what is important is you periodically revise the notes from a prelims perspective. So I have covered note making and answer writing in separate videos because I feel that they are very important and they must be covered in different videos. So you can refer to them. So in that I have mentioned that notes are always integrated. But now when you are studying only for prelims, so whenever you revise the notes, do it from a prelims perspective. Only revise that content in your notes which you believe is required for prelims. Okay, and then attempt maximum number of mock tests, that goes without saying, sectional and full in this particular period. And also work out this paper solving strategy at least 2 weeks from prelims. So I'll be taking a pure dedicated class on prelims on Unacademy Plus. So please remember that code Akshat10 to join it. But here I'm just giving you a brief of what you have to do in this particular phase, what I did in this particular phase, and maybe you can plan accordingly. Okay, and finally you can stop reading the newspaper in this particular period, suppose say 1 to 2 months from prelims. So you need not do that. Okay, so you can stop reading the newspaper in this particular phase. And finally the last phase, that is after prelims. So this is the kind of, you can say, the final lap before mains, and this is very important, and obviously this applies when you have cleared prelims, obviously. So now your only priority is mains, naturally. So only priority is mains. Okay, so what I would recommend is, first of all, you start with the optional, because it would be some time that you have finished your optional, so it might have kind of it might have become faded in your memory. So start with the optional first. Also take up the topics which you were not able to cover properly from your optional. So please remember, always do those topics which you are uncomfortable in, which you have not covered properly before. So start with them, utilize this time. Otherwise, if you keep on kind of postponing them, then you will never do that. You will always keep on getting afraid of such topics. Finally, before the results of prelims, you complete the GS topics which you had left out earlier. For in my case, for example, I had left out ethics before prelims, so I started with ethics. So you must complete these GS topics which you left out before the result of prelims. So that was how I thought, that is how I think I would recommend. It is up to you. Okay, and also you must periodically revise the complete set of notes. The complete set of notes for both optional and mains, that is very, very important. And finally, give full 3-hour test. Now you cannot escape test, be it essay, be it GS, be it optional. Just give. Please do not wait now. Okay, so this is basically my strategy in a nutshell. So I have given you the each and every minute detail as to exactly how I thought. Please, I am not saying follow this. I am not saying that this is the only strategy that will work. This was how I thought, and I just want to kind of give that particular thing to you from this lesson, that you can think on similar lines but develop your own strategy. This is just to give that reference as to how to plan a strategy, because a lot of queries I have been receiving as to how to plan a strategy. So this is how you do it, but it has to be your own unique strategy, because only then you would be able to implement it. Okay, so you can just use this for reference. Fine. So this is my strategy, and I'll be covering the note making, the answer writing, all these in separate videos.